Who is to blame? Ukraine, Russia, Vladimir Putin, Zelensky? Who is to blame? What are the mistakes did Ukrainian president is making against the war with Russia? That's it today. It's Rionija Victor, and you are live, you are tuning it, you are getting it all from Elite Brands UG. And always thank you for watching us, following us, subscribing our social media platforms. Today, Russia is against Ukraine, Ukraine is against Russia, they are hammering each other, they are killing themselves, everything, economy is down, politically, socially, everything. Today, I have a gentleman, his name is Amon Mark, live at Elite Brands UG. He's here and he's going to talk or give a brief story about the Ukraine's mistake. You are live.
Thank you, thanks. To the viewers, it's a good evening here in Uganda. Don't know where abroad at the time, but here in Uganda it's a good evening from us, and thanks for watching us.
Yeah, so Mr. Amon, you are live at Elite Brands UG. Here people are willing and are ready, they are watching even. They are ready, they want to know what are the mistakes is Ukrainian president is doing against this war. And by the way, they want to know what caused him to not to leave Russia.
Now, the problems of Ukraine, by the way, as Elite Brands, as people, we feel sorry for Ukrainians, what they are facing right now. It is not good. It's not good at all.
It's not good at all. That's why I want you to
sorry.
that.
We have seen stories sharing, running around with the children crying.
Not even children only crying, but Ukraine's war have affected globally. Every country is suffering just because of Ukraine and Russian war.
Now, we would refer to it as Putin's war.
You were calling it Putin's war.
We can also refer to it as Putin's invasion of
Ukraine. Why not
Zelensky's war?
Zelensky's war.
No, let's call it Putin's war. The viewers will judge.
Okay.
Yes, the viewers will
Somewhere
judge.
both.
Now, we start with what went wrong.
What went wrong? Again,
why are we here right now? Why is Ukraine facing what it's facing today? Our viewers there would like to know. They have heard about Ukraine fighting with Russia, but they don't know the genesis of this battle. Ukraine's misunderstanding with Russia did not start yesterday. They started way back in 2014 and beyond.
In 2014,
yes.
For us, we have just seen it, just this very year.
Yes. Just
seeing the war starting, the war going on, they are fighting, but we don't know why.
There has been a war. In what? A war in feelings.
It was a silent war.
Yes, it was a silent war with Russia building up its military capacity against Ukraine. But any person would wonder, Ukraine is a small country. Ukraine cannot be compared to Russia in terms of economy, in terms of military power, in terms of military.
Very soon we are going to bring that history, but right now we are right now we are on the mistakes Ukrainian president is making against this war.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why you are here.
As we are not going to waste any more of our viewers' time, let's dive into it right away. Now, from the beginning, it was around, I think, last year, 2021, in December, when the Ukrainian president promised to defend every piece of Ukraine's territory against Russia.
Zelensky promising,
yes,
to defend
every not even a soil should fall in hands of Russians.
He was the president saying.
Yes, and that was the genesis of Putin to think that Ukrainian president is not alone.
Я відчуваю, що
I feel that President Biden, well, not only do I feel, I heard that he personally supports Ukraine on the issue of granting NATO membership. But it's hard for me to tell what the path is going to be like.
зараз мені складно вам сказати. Президент Байден
President Biden assured me that Ukraine will never be left alone against Russian aggression.
агресії Росії.
So even come upon a test of reality, it is that same Ukrainian president that today is open to every opportunity to end the war. Same president who said we are going to protect, we are going to defend every bit of Ukrainian soil, is now open to talks, even laying down his demands of joining NATO. Right now, as we talk, he's willing to meet Putin in person.
Is willing to meet Putin in person.
Yes.
What do you think are the causes of that war before we come to the mistakes he's doing right now?
The cause of the war is back embedded in Ukraine's neutrality. Ukraine failed to protect itself against Western allies.
Western allies. What
By
do you mean
Western allies, we are meaning USA and the European Union. The European Union. And our boy, or our man, Mr. Zelensky, did not stop at protecting himself from them, but he even applied his 40 kilometers to Moscow.
USA is just
40 kilometers
one
to Moscow. To Moscow, the capital city of Russia, of which it is a nightmare. It is a nightmare that Vladimir Putin will never dream of that USA will be 40 kilometers.
So for you think Vladimir Vidromovich,
Yes.
Putin is fearing maybe America may use Ukraine as a standing base.
Absolutely. We are going to watch. We are going to talk about that in this very interview.
Okay.
Now, let's continue. Mr. Vladimir Zelensky made 3 strategic mistakes. 3.
What are those 3?
I will start with 1. One is overestimating Western support
Overestimating Western support.
in the war.
No.
Secondly, is misreading Ukraine's importance to the Western allies. 3 is misreading Putin's intention to invade Ukraine. Those are the 3 strategic mistakes that
Strategic mistakes.
Zelensky made. We are going to handle one by one.
I swear I want you to come now.
Number one, Ukrainian president knew that he was no match to Russia. He knew it very well from day one that he was no match to Russia. But this boy continued to evoke or create tensions between Russia and Ukraine. He said that but it was true. He said that even Biden, American president, is in support of Ukraine joining NATO.
Biden.
Yes.
This thing, have it just started or it started like long ago?
It started long ago, but the presidents have been negotiating to avoid the war. He has been negotiating. Trump was seen in most cases meeting Putin one-on-one. And even when the war had begun, we saw Trump coming out and saying that if I was the president, this war would not have happened.
It would not have happened.
Yes. So we blame this war largely on the influence of USA. Here comes...
So who are you blaming? Joe Biden? Trump? Zelensky, Putin.
I'm blaming. The war was supposed to happen. Was supposed to happen. But the effect, the war was bound to happen. Far back from when Russia invaded Crimea in the era of Mr. Barack Obama and took it. By the way, Mr. Putin did not start with Ukraine. He started with Crimea and brought it to himself. Now he's on Ukraine. Now what happens is that when Biden comes in power, perhaps he's not a Democrat like Trump. He wants more of violence. You saw how he withdrew the military army, the military base from Afghanistan, and in 1 week the Taliban had already captured the whole state.
Yeah.
So those are some of the mistakes we will blame on the USA and Ukrainian president, who is Zelensky. Now, instead of Biden negotiating, he flooded Ukraine with military apparatuses.
So, Ukraine, with its president Zelensky, is strongly comfortable just because of USA, and they are the ones supporting him.
From day one, Biden supported the war.
Why do you think America? Why do you think USA is just on the neck of Ukraine, helping it? Don't allow Russia to do this. Don't allow Russia to do this.
Because Ukraine is a tool. Is used as a tool of Western allies to keep on irritating Vladimir Putin. It is like in your room, in your house, your enemy taking up a room in your house, and you are in your bedroom. The man has taken the visitor's room. Are you comfortable?
Really, I can't be comfortable.
Can you sleep?
I can't even sleep.
Thank you very much.
I start up a war. So.
Instead of Biden calling the two parties and sitting together as a Democrat and say, guys, look, we can avoid this war by doing ABC, like his predecessor, Mr. Trump. He instead flooded.
Before we come to the possible solutions, first give us like those
now
two.
We are still on that mistake. He instead of doing that, he instead flooded Ukraine with weapons. He flooded with those artillery guns, those anti-tankers. Before the war, this is before the war. Now, what do you expect Mr. Putin to do with USA flooding Ukraine with those anti-tanker guns and
so
tanker?
For you think Putin, what he's doing is right?
We are still going on mistakes.
We are still going on mistakes.
Yeah, it was.
But you can just put it away.
Okay. It was April 2021 when Russia first built up its army on the borders of Ukraine. Zelensky, in his own words, he said that the Western support will be enough to put Putin at bay. But Putin was there. Then there is what they call NATO conspiracy.
NATO conspiracy.
Yes, NATO trying to give the Ukrainian president confidence that they will fight for him. And here we are 14 days in the war. It has started. European countries are still buying Russian oil. They are still depending on Russia. 40% of Russian oil was being bought by European countries.
But
those are the ones
that everything was closed just because of that war. Now how are they depending on it?
You wait, we are going to go there. Now they are fighting. They are telling Zelensky that we are going to support you. Zelensky demands on 14th day that put a no-fly zone on Ukraine. NATO could not allow to tamper in a war with Russia.
Why?
It becomes world war.
Definitely.
Now, 14 days. Zelensky was, if he was very wise, a wise man, he would tell that these people are not going to support me. Let me call Mr. Putin, we sit, we end the what?
So, what you
Before
are trying to
escalate.
mean, just Zelensky waked up in the morning and started a war that he didn't plan for.
He never planned for that war. He was relying on Western support.
So all his powers was on Western support, but
Yes.
for him, he never even had it in mind, like maybe in any time.
Yes.
the moment.
Number 3, we are on number 2.
We are on number 2.
Ukraine. Number 2 was Zelensky underestimating the importance of Ukraine to the Western allies. Mr. Zelensky thought that Ukraine had stopped. Actually, in his own video, he said, in a press release, he said that Ukraine has been a shield of the most deadly, dangerous, and powerful army from reaching European countries. Do you know what it means?
Come again, please.
He said that, quote, Ukraine has been a shield of the most dangerous, most deadly, most powerful army
So,
on earth.
Now
On
I have got you well.
Now-
so those most dangerous, most powerful country, they are using Ukraine as a shield
to guard Mr.
guard-
Putin's
Oh my
army
God.
from reaching the. Now that's what I said, that Ukraine was used as a tool,
Has a tool.
to block the Russian build-up from reaching European countries.
I get now.
Україна 8 років є
For 8 years, Ukraine has been a shield. For 8 years, Ukraine has been holding back one of the greatest armies in the world, which stands along our borders, not the borders of the European Union. And the missile systems flew to Mariupol, not to European cities.
Маріуполь, а не у європейські міста.
These events confirm that comprehensive security in Europe is impossible if Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity is not restored.
Now, that's the mistake that Zelensky made, thinking that the West liked him, liked his country, yet they are using it as a tool.
Has a basing point, has
Yeah,
a tool, has a shield,
As a shield.
everything that can protect you from being reached by.
And for them, they are using it to irritate. They are using Ukraine to irritate Putin, to provoke Putin, okay, to mock Putin. Like a person can.
So what you are trying to say, I have got it. I have got it very well and I have understood. According to what you have said, all I see now what the cause of the war, and I can see that the one who's bringing mistakes and who's killing people in Ukraine, now I see is USA.
Absolutely,
Because USA, they are using Ukraine.
absolutely. There is
Now USA is behind it. Zelensky is just there.
saying, go, fight, we shall support you. But to put this to our viewers' image, which country in the whole world can accept to fight a war with Russia? Not militarily strong. You're saying that I'm going to open a war with Russia. Mr. Victor, CEO, will support me.
I can't
You're not
really
sure.
support it.
You're not sure of that support. USA cannot engage itself in a one-on-one war with Russia. You know that. Then you lead your country to fight.
Tell you the truth, if Russia is to attack Ukraine, it can't even take an hour without putting Ukraine down.
Thank you very much.
But
Now, Putin says, I want these regions. If you are going to apply for NATO, go as you let these regions that belong to me come back to me. You will remind me, we will also hold a video, we will also hold an insight like this to show our viewers how the war started in 2014. Here we are looking at mistakes Zelensky made that led Ukraine into a war with Russia.
With Russia.
Putin said in his words.
Some people are saying that the war is against
Putin
Zelensky and Putin.
Putin
Some
said.
are saying America.
Putin said that I'm going to do a military operation in Ukraine. Anyone who will interfere will see what he has never seen in the world. You will see the damage.
So what you want to mean? Putin is even ready for the third
for
war?
anyone.
For the third world war?
He's not even ready, he's not ready for the third
If
world
America
war.
comes, that means even China will come to support Russia, because Russia
They are
and
allies.
China, they are one.
Now we say
North Korea is there behind Russia. Behind Russia.
USA has been making mistakes.
Mm.
He has attacked all Muslim countries. You know, we can't name them and finish.
And those all countries that are behind Russia, they are ready to attack the USA.
We saw Syrian army joining, and at the fall of Mariupol, Putin captured four big army men of USA in Mariupol. So that means USA has not only been pumping Ukraine with weapons, but also there are some soldiers fighting within. Okay?
Within themselves.
Now, the third mistake Ukrainian president made is underestimating. Underestimating.
Put a wrong question mark there.
Underestimating Putin's intent to invade Ukraine. No one up to now, USA cannot tell you that it knew that Putin was going to invade Ukraine. And that's why they say Putin is an introvert. We are going to make something like this, telling people what Putin is.
Who is Putin?
Who is Putin? Who is Vladimir Putin?
If Putin talks or says something, what does it mean?
Even if he sneezes, like, tell, what does it mean to the world? Because right now,
I started hearing people calling Putin a dictator.
They call him Putin. They are relating him with Hitler.
Every person who is wrong on earth, they refer that name to him.
So now, you hear, we will put that to our viewers, and they also see who the man Putin is. Hey, up to now, even if Putin raises up the hand, the world will be at tension. They don't know what the raising of the hand means. So let's proceed. The man called Zelensky undermined that Putin would wake up one morning and put Ukraine on ashes. So those are the tactical mistakes that right now you are talking of sanctions. What are sanctions? What are sanctions to Putin? Somebody who prepared for the war from 2014. What are sanctions to him? Putin has.
I was coming there after this
yes.
third what?
The
third mistake. Then I was coming on a sanction they placed on Putin. How did they?
Even if they sanction his dog right now, Putin has won the economic war. Go and research.
Before we come on that, wind up with the third mistake, then we come on that.
The third mistake was on Zelensky underestimating Putin's intention.
So, for what you are trying to mean, Putin, even if they underestimated him, for him he had already planned everything.
Yeah, he knew.
No, it could cost him.
He knew why he was invading Ukraine and knew the repercussions that would come. What is happening is that Mr. Biden and his administration underestimated that Putin could wake up one morning and fight a war in Ukraine. Now, they jump into sanctioning. Go home, tell your child that I don't want you to see TV. You leave the TV on, you put electricity, you pay for subscription.
And you leave at home.
And you leave at home and you have said,
don't watch it. Psychological torture.
You go. Meaning, you have ironically told the kid that you watch
it, but there's the way you torture her. Or you
now,
torture that kid.
USA and its allies combine and put sanctions there was the first bunch, second bunch, third bunch. Now the bunch that is there is on partial sanctions on Russian oil. But European countries have been consuming 40% of Russian oil. That you research.
A moment. Thank you for watching Elite Brands UG, and thanks for always tuning Elite Brands UG. Thanks for staying updated. Thanks for getting all this information. If we say about, or if we talk about Elite Brands UG, we mean being updated, getting knowledge. Today I'm here with this gentleman. His name is Amon Mark Achokwizuka. He's a very bright guy. I think you are hearing the way he's analyzing issues about Ukrainians' mistake they are doing against this war. Russia's sanctions. Is it sanctions?
Yes.
Yeah. That's why we are here. And always stay tuned on Elite Brands UG. You are going to learn very many things. That's why Elite Brands is here. Watch, subscribe through our social media platforms like YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok. Link everywhere you go, you find us there. Thank you. It's me, Ranger Victor, with Amon Mark live. Thank you. Now we go on sanctions.
Sanctions. What are sanctions to Russia, to a country like Russia, to an economy like Russia?
Russia, by the way, is one of the richest countries.
Thank you very much. Putin,
with oil. It's the one making it.
Zelensky said it that Ukraine has been a tool to block the powerful, the mighty, the deadliest, the dangerous
of the countries.
Powerful Russia. Now, here we are. You know all that.
I know it very well.
European Union knows the contribution of Russia's economy to the rest of the world. Knows the contribution of Ukraine to the rest of the world. They know. They knew what would happen if Putin fights in Ukraine. They knew he would win the war. And at the end of the day, they will continue to buy Russian oil, Russian gas. So what are sanctions? Sanctioning, telling Vladimir Zelensky that we have sanctioned Russia and you continue to buy his oil. What have you sanctioned?
Nothing really.
Nothing.
It's
so
like
sanctions.
It's like you say, don't eat my food, but again you come and buy it. You eat it.
Ah, okay. It's like
how can I say?
You say that I have locked you in your house. That is food. There is water. Don't come out.
Don't come out.
You have given me food.
You have given me food and water.
What do I say? What was meant to be done? What was meant to be done by Mr. Zelensky? He's remembering it now that we need to sit on a round table and talk.
So they need what they call peace talk.
Yes, that's the only
between
thing.
Russia and Ukraine, or between Russia, Ukraine plus
USA does not concern Ukraine.
But
if we are to end the war in Ukraine, Putin, Zelensky have got to sit two men without any other person.
Two men without any other person.
Yeah. No intermediate. No one should advise Zelensky. No one should advise Putin. The two should sit
and
negotiate.
Agree about
and know what to lose and what to gain. If Ukraine is going, many countries have done so.
By the way, when you sit in peace talks, you expect
India.
Two things.
Yes, you lose and
you
gain.
You lose and gain. Somewhere,
yes.
Something squeezes you.
Yes, you have to hurt each other.
You hurt
each other to agree. You disagree to agree. Many countries have done so. Many countries have remained neutral about what is happening in Ukraine. Do you know why? they cannot vote in favor of Russia and cannot vote in favor of Ukraine. Because if you vote Ukraine, there is nothing it is going to give you.
Do you think there is any other person or country that can sit between those
No.
countries and they are
They are
like how it
failed.
was done between Uganda and Rwanda?
They are
You know the
failed.
crossing of Uganda
Yes.
of Ugandan border and Rwanda.
Yes, they have failed.
President Museveni sent his son,
They have failed.
Moses.
They have failed.
He agreed with Kagame and now the border is open.
They have
so you
failed.
think for them it can't happen?
It can't. They have failed. They have tried. Turkey has been trying to intermediate, but because Zelensky has that urge that I'm being backed up. But you can't stand a war between Russia. You can't stand against Russia. For God's sake, Zelensky has got to sit on a round table with Putin too. Not even the bodyguard should be there to interfere the talk.
Also, there's a statement I was saying that I've been laughing at myself. The why I know Putin, that guy is very rude.
Putin
and I
is
know
not
himself.
good. Putin is not
even
good.
go and
By the way,
fighting with
By the way,
Zelensky.
if there is someone who is, if there is any person that is approachable, is Vladimir Putin. You remember he met African countries on the Libyan issue, and he sorted it.
It was never sorted.
It was he sorted it.
He never sorted it.
There
If he
was-
sorted it, why did America attack it?
No, that is after America attacked Libya, bombarded it, and left. Now Libya started to fight itself.
Now,
Yes.
now the Libyan.
But it tell you why. When they fight, somebody is going to take 3 army, the other one takes 4, the other one takes 5. So that the
now
one
I'm seeing an endless way in Libya.
that it was an endless war. It was Putin's intervention that cleared all that mess, and now they are voting. They are voting now. So Putin is approachable. The two have got to meet and agree. Thank you very much.
So you think that one is a possible solution they can do for it? Or?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you for being a wise person. Thanks you for being an updated guy. Thanks you for not resting, for not sitting. By the way, successful person has no room for resting.
Yes.
I will say it. I will never stop say it. Every time I come on Elad Blunt to say everything. Every successful person has no room for resting. Thank you for not sitting on your talent, of being updated, and of discovering new things, and of looking possible solutions. By the way, Zelensky and Putin, they can even use that knowledge you have given them. They sit together, they talk in a humble way, in a gentle way. They come out.
Each one of them should drop down a man panty. The pride.
What do you mean by a manpart? Pride.
Putin is strong, yes.
Yeah.
Has the strongest army, has the strongest army. He should put them
And
down.
Ukraine is not
Ukraine-
strong, but has it has
allies.
it has its allies of America, strong countries even behind it also.
Uh-huh.
So
So
it's
it
also
should
seeing
also-
itself as a powerful country.
So it should put down that, know that America is not going to solve those problems, sit with Putin and agree as neighbors.
Thank you for watching Elad Brand's UG. Alright, stay tuned, never give up. We love you.